Hey guys, Denzel from Castle Wash here, aka Mr. Fidgety. I'm always fidgeting. I know you guys probably noticed if you watched all my videos, which, hey, if you haven't, no hard feelings, I get it. But, you know, that's right along the line of what I was thinking about, and I was like, let me record myself to see if I can talk this idea out on camera. So basically, let's say 8 months ago, I was hardcore on doing all my Instagram posts, doing all my Facebook posts, doing all the updates and writing SEO, all the digital stuff, right? Even making videos for YouTube to then, you know, edit and then put on my YouTube as, you know, all that stuff. And you know, there's some channels out there that can just crank that stuff out. Like, there's a couple channels, I swear, so they've got a video every day, every other day, and they're nicely edited. Me, I'm spending like hour and a half, 2 hours to edit a 10-minute video, and I'm thinking to myself, this isn't making money, right? SEO and writing for the website's a little bit different, but making YouTube videos doesn't make me money. Writing these Facebook posts and then linking to my Instagram and all this stuff doesn't make me money, right? And that's kind of what I was thinking. I'm like, well, there's lots of other things that as small business people we will do because we think it's part of the work. It's part of that stuff. You got to do it. Everyone else is doing it, so you got to do it. You got to be updating your Instagram daily. You got to be doing your Facebook posts. You got to be all these platforms that are just, you know, people put their eyes on it. And for me, in my very anecdotal, limited scope of knowledge, it's worthless. That stuff has no real bearing on the reality of my situation. It has not paid me a penny to do any of that stuff. I've never had someone say, hey, I saw your Facebook post and want to hire you. Hey, I saw your Instagram post, I want to pay you money. It's like, not once. And that could beg the question, well, maybe I'm not reaching enough eyes, maybe I'm not writing it properly, like all that stuff. But what does make you money is what I'm doing right now, talking out this stuff, hearing if you sound dumb. What I'm talking about is selling pressure washing services, right? At the end of the day, people will say, well, it's just pressure washing. It's like, well, yeah, but that's the service you're providing. But you're not getting paid if you're not a good salesman. You're not going to make it. So the Instagram post, there we go. The Instagram post may get someone to call you, but if you don't then sell it, it was worthless, and it was a waste of time and a huge time suck, right? I mean, I think about all the hours. I think about the millions, if not billions of dollars that just pressure washers alone pay other companies to write this stuff for them. And they're just told, there goes a pressure washer right there. Holy crap, it's like a wild animal. Like, wow, there's one. A funny thing, whenever I hear about competition. There's the market is saturated. Oh my gosh, there's so many people. Is this even worth getting into? I'm like, well, if you're going to ask that question, then no. But unless you're going to be a brain surgeon or some high-level architectural contractor or something like that, no, nothing's worth getting into if that's your frame of mind. Hell, even being a doctor, there's so much competition for being a doctor. Yeah, we always need more and all this stuff, but think about how many people go through med school. Those classrooms are packed. Whatever, that's a whole separate thing, right? Yeah, talking about all this stuff that doesn't really make you money. See, I'm Mr. Fidgety. It's because I'm hot, sticky, been working all day. Stuff that doesn't make you money. And going back to the old Facebook group thing, how, I see things that I used to think, or I used to have these kinds of questions, And I see people asking them over and over again, and they're getting the same answers I did. And I'm here to tell you, like, that's not for everyone. That might be bizarre, like some of you guys that do that stuff, and it works for you. You must think I'm crazy to tell people, like, you don't really have to spend money on Facebook ads. You don't have to drop $1,000 a month on Google ads. Hell, I wouldn't even spend any money on Google ads ever again if I had my choice, because, and before anyone gets on me and tell you what success you've had, good for you. Go make your own video about how it works. I'm telling you, for me and my situation, and for the area I live in and my clientele, I don't need it. That's a waste of money. It has been a waste of money. I did have a really good stint with my guy Ty. I've mentioned him before. He's great. I learned a lot. Valuable resource. I basically paid for a crash course in marketing, which is cool. You know, great value, but I still didn't get any results. You know, key performance, whatever the hell they're called. I wanted to get calls so I could sell people pressure washing. Never got one. Never. Never. Gee whiz. And that's a problem when you're gonna dump $3,000 and $4,000 into something and you don't even get a call. Call doesn't even go anywhere. I got a marketing class for like $4,000. Whatever, different thing. I've already been over that. And so here's what's going on with me. I got called to wash this house in a really nice neighborhood that's on the lake. It's on the lake in Florida. In the summertime, there are bugs and spiders thick in that whole area. So I did that house. Guy was so happy, he's like, I want to get that done every 3 months. Cha-ching. Cha-freaking-ching. Okay? Go out there the second time. I said, you know, how'd everything go the first time? Looks good. He's like, oh man, it's great. He's like, that'd be great if you could do that again. After I did it, I said, hey, you know what would really help me? Tell all your neighbors and friends that live in the area. Tell them I'm their man if they want to get these bugs off. Within a week, I got 2 more calls from that neighborhood, had 2 jobs sold for good money, and now I have 2 more recurring 3-month services right there. Boom. So within a month, within 1 month, I made almost half of what I had previously spent in Google ads. All right. So what does that tell you right there? Like, spending money on Google just because everyone else is doing it doesn't mean it works for you. Don't let anybody tell you how to spend your money. Not even me. If you want to go spend your money, go ahead. I'm just telling you, if everyone and their grandma is doing Google and it's a race, if you're all looking for the same people, like, what are you doing? Like, you're all looking for the same people in the same way. And again, if you're still on YouTube watching videos, looking for help, this and that, you're in no position to outspend those big ass companies that are dropping $3,000 and $4,000 a month, right? Constantly retargeting. They're throwing out flyers. They can do a 10,000 letter mailing, no problem. You know why? Because they got the money for it. Now, funny enough, this is a sidetrack again. I got undercut by one of those big companies. Not gonna name any names, but it's a group of guys. It's like, I always see like the same 2 kids working for them. And I mean, they do okay work. They do some weird stuff. Like, they tried pressure washing leaves out of a gutter, and then once everything's soaking wet and they figured out that's not gonna work, they go grab a leaf blower, but then everything's wet, so that barely worked, and they just took long. So I'm just like, all right, well, your guys aren't really in it. You probably hire college kids, because that's all you can find to pressure wash for 10 hours a day. What a rant that was. Anyway, I find it really interesting because, again, you'll hear all this constant bantering and down talk on the $99 guy, and yet some of these main companies out here, the ones that do show up at the top of Google, they're the cheapest. So they're going on a volume. They got to spray X amount of gallons of water a day. Oof. They got to spray this much water a week. Okay, I'm back. Wife was calling me because she's hungry. I'm coming, I'm coming. You know, this kind of turned into a rant video, and I don't want to get too hung up on these Facebook people, but like here's an example. Here's like the best example that you've probably all heard, and yet people are still guilty of this thing because they refuse to do their research, all right? When I post the video of me cleaning a driveway and someone asks, how much do you charge? I'm like, A, you don't know where I am, you don't know how often I'm doing it, you don't know the process I use, and B, I don't know where you're at, I don't know what your capabilities are, I don't know what kind of equipment you have, because that stuff matters, okay? On the flip side, when someone posts a picture of a wall and they're like, hey, how much should I charge for this? I'm like, bro, I don't know. Are you in upstate New York? Are you in freaking Miami? Are you in some broke-ass county in Georgia or Alabama or some shit? Like, we don't know. I don't know. Anyway, that's such a tiresome topic because